At 11 this morning, Attorney Audrey Matura Shepherd exited Supreme Court No. 1 after hearing the decision of Chief Justice Kenneth Benjamin in the injunction matter. She was the bearer of good news of sorts. On the bright side, the battle had been won, but the cloud to that silver lining is that the war will now be expedited.
This morning, we appeared before the Chief Justice to hear his ruling on whether or not the injunction will remain, and he did rule that the injunction will remain. He doesn't want it to remain for too long because he believes the matter needs to be resolved, so we hope to have a quick trial. And the essence of the injunction is that there will be the third and the fourth defendant cannot go on the property and do anything on it. So the persons who represent our building cannot continue building until after the trial, and the government cannot go ahead and publish the notice in the Gazette, which makes a lease final. That's basically it. And that's what we wanted.
The ruling today means that whatever the decision when the matter is heard, for now the land remains as it is. That is important, especially because of reports that there have still been attempts to commence construction despite the order of the courts.
The Chief Justice is looking at an issue of fairness, as any judge should. And it doesn't mean that we know how the ruling will go. It just means that, think about it. If I'm asking you to give me back my land, why would I allow someone else to do everything else with the land so that by the time my land is returned to me, it is really just an academic exercise because now someone else has an interest. So the way the law looks at things, they try to balance things, you know. We're trying to maintain the status quo so that then you can proceed with whatever decision the court makes from a fair basis where the playing field is level. So that is what it really means.
The Pickwoods are fighting to hold on to the parcel of land, which was to have been the home of Bernadette Pickwood. But indications are that the cards are already being stacked against them, at least where the Lands Department is concerned. Castillo enjoyed a lofty position as deputy boss of the ministry until very recently, and is now a favored political aspirant. No surprise then that Shepherd says the ministry has been less than forthcoming, and maybe much more than that. Title for the piece of land has been issued to Maud Williams.
Finally, through the evidence that they presented, that is how our client was able to ascertain that title had actually been issued. We were not able to ascertain it through the official channels at the Lands Department. To date, we still have made written requests to the Commissioner of Lands for a copy of the file for us to see what's all the documentation. It has not been possible. We've paid for copies of the register and we were given pieces of it. And there were explanations why we can't get it. So I think beyond this case, one thing I've learned now dealing with a lot of land matters is that we have a fairly unjust land system. And I say that because it's not working for a lot of people. And unfortunately, a lot of Belizeans don't have the money to come to court and fight a case.
Can you say, sorry, what date the title was issued to the Castillos?
Shockingly, the 5th of December. And I say shockingly because I personally had called at the Lands Department sometime maybe about the 20th of December or just before, I can't remember the exact date right now. I called and I asked them because I had seen in the newspaper that Miss Maud Williams had asserted that she had title, but yet we couldn't get that through official channels. So I called just before I filed my claim and I said, I've read this, can you tell me? And they said, no, it's not there, it's not in the system.
The Ministry of Natural Resources is also named as a defendant in the matter and has reportedly stated that there is the option of compensation on the table. Mike Rodon for News 5.